Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to attach this to this bike with this adapter. So let's see how that works. So all we really need for this is my controller from a DJI Mavic Mini 2. This cheap Chinese equivalent of a quad lock mount. I've used a few of these and they seem to be pretty good quality. Comes with this sticky pad that I'm going to be putting on the back and just an Allen key to tighten up the bolts. So it's fairly straightforward. So what I'm going to do is mount it on my handlebar just here between my burster clamp and also the clamp for the bars, and you can see I've put the wee rubber insert already on the bars. There's not a huge amount of space there, but it should fit, and hopefully it'll sit then just above the handlebar clamp and allow me to see it. So let's get this mounted on. First of all, we'll just get this in finger tight basically, because I'll need to adjust it just to make sure that the controller doesn't hit the tank or get in the way of anything. I had to put some tape around my bars because they were just very slightly too narrow for the size of the clamp. So I did that, put the rubber ring on, and it's fairly secure. Now because my drone is a DJI Mavic Mini 2, it's the old style of controller that your phone goes onto, so the plan is it'll mount about there and it'll still give plenty of space. Obviously I'm only going to be doing this at slow speed, so it's not essential for me to see my dials and stuff at the moment. I could probably actually even angle that down a bit more so it's more like that, but just wanted to check we're going to have clearance, and we will, so that's fine. So I'm going to put the sticky pad on the back just here. Right, so I've got the mount here and you can see it's a wee bit too big, doesn't quite fit, and it covers up the cooling vent. So I've got another bit of paper the same size, so I'm just going to use this as a template to see how much I could trim off just to make that fit properly. Yeah, let's just have a look at marking it up a bit. So I can take a bit off there, a bit off there. Oops, moved a bit. And we need to see about taking a bit out here. So snip. Snip, and let's try this bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. Perhaps just a wee bit off the bottom. That'll do, so we'll transfer it across and do some cuts on the plastic. Right, if you're using any sharp blades, obviously be careful. So just want this out if I can. There we go, so that's that out there, so that'll give a bit more clearance to the vent. Trim down this side as well. It's actually easier with scissors than it is with a Stanley blade. I'll just take a bit off the bottom. Okay, ideally that's how it's going to sit. I'll give this a wee wipe with a degreaser, let it dry, and then we'll get this stuck on. This is just a non-solvent citrus based degreaser, so we don't need a lot of it. I'll just give this a wee wipe. And then just let that dry. Okay, so I've left that to dry for a few minutes, so let's peel this off and get it stuck down. And take your time to try and get this lined up as straight as you can, because you don't want it squinty when it's on the drones on the bars. We'll squeeze that down. Just keep some pressure on it for a few minutes. I remembered from using these before, they're not actually really that sticky when you initially put them on. So what I did was I used one of these wee quickie candle lighter things to heat up the glue and then stick it down, and it seems to have helped. It seems to be far more solid, so leave that to sit for a wee while before we do anything else. Okay, so it's been sitting for 5 or 6 minutes now, and that seems pretty solid. So let's have a look at offering up to the bike and see if it fits. Okay, so all we need to do is push this down, make sure these are in the right place. I'm doing this quite carefully just now because I won't be fully set. Give it a turn, and that is locked securely in place. So let's have a look at what it's like when my phone's on. So that's okay. So for the short amount of time that that's going to be on for, it'll only be if maybe the drone's following me for a minute maximum and at low speed. I reckon that'll be fine. I've got a vibration damper if I find it moves about too much when the bike's on, but I don't actually think it will. Right, so we'll get everything tightened up and then we'll go and give it a test. We'll tighten up this one first. That's just to clamp onto the bars. Right, so we'll see how this does. It is a wee bit on the windy side. Okay, so this obviously goes without saying, you need to make sure that the laws in the country you're in allow you to do this. I'm in the UK, I am fully registered, I've got flyer ID and I've passed all the relevant requirements. This drone is 249 grams, so it's under 250. I am permitted to fly it in follow me mode as long as it's not more than 50 metres away from me. So I need to keep it within 50 metres, and if I do that, I do not have to have direct line of sight on it as long as it's in follow me mode. Any other rule applies, and if it goes over 50 metres away from me, I have to make sure I've got line of sight on it. So we're just going to set it up just now into a kind of position where it can see me. There we go. So I can now change this into follow, which means in theory this will follow me, the GPS controller. So let's test it. Well, that was just an extra fun wee experimental video of trying different bits and bobs. So if you've got some camera gear and you're not sure if you can use it in different ways, find a quiet place like that industrial estate or somewhere out the way and just go and experiment with it and play and see what you can do. It's no harm in trying stuff. It might work, it might not work. At least then you know because you've tried. So thanks very much for watching us today, and see you in the next one, and as always, ride safe. Cheerio.